TV10 Podcast, episode 0347?
That's right, 347 episodes. We are still going strong. Pandemic be damned. We are bunkered down in our hidey holes, our spider holes in my case, because that's how we roll, because I'm Tommy Milagro.
I'm Bill Frost, and believe it or not, all 347 of those episodes were recorded this year in 2020.
It's like it was all done in real time and shit.
Oh, yeah, that's how it kind of seems that way, actually.
Yes, and that's how you could tell from the depressed tones in our voices. 347 episodes. Aren't we done yet?
Oh, man, it's like doing time in pod jail. And this particular episode, brought to you by one of our fine local alcohol sponsors. And who would it be this week?
Well, as we're doing time in Podville, the only way we can do this is because we're outlaws. So thankfully, Outlaw Distillery is still one of our fine sponsors. And of course, we go back to a good old favorite in time for the holidays, the spiced rum. And now I'm having the spiced rum with the Diet Coke because I couldn't be bothered to get the eggnog. Who needs that nonsense? But it is a tasty drink to get you in a festive mood in time for the holidays.
Oh, sounds lovely.
Yes. Just in time for you to go pinkies up, bitches.
And, and also in this episode of Hell Comes to Podtown, we are talking about the new shit that is coming out this week. And believe it or not, I was putting together my notes for the Morning Zoo. And every time I do that in December, I start thinking, oh, this is going to be bleak. I'm going to have nothing to talk about. But then I actually found some stuff. And some stuff actually worth talking about here. Not this first one though.
Oh, okay. Well, what's the one we want to get out of the way here?
It is new, so it does have that going for it. It's called Nurses. It debuts tonight as this episode drops, Monday, December 7th. It's another Canadian import because America can't get its shit together. And so we got another Canadian import here. This is it's about 5 good-looking nurses, both male and female, working in a Toronto hospital. And this cast has a who's who of Canadian folks here. People from Riverdale, The Possession, Blind Spot, and Working Moms. And I don't recognize any of their names or faces, but if you want a melodrama about working in a hospital and being really, 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 really ridiculously good looking, this is the show for you.
Well, let's clarify your earlier statement. This is a who's who of
Yeah,
let's just
that's more accurate. Yes.
Yes, and secondly, I have to say on a scale of 1 to Scrubs, where does this fall?
Well, it's not a comedy, for one thing.
Okay, so no Zach Braff. Already,
it's already looking points. That much better?
Yes. But where does it go after that?
It's just a bunch of good-looking folks who happen to work in a hospital. They're on the front line. They're doing the thing there. So
it's Toronto ER essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
All right.
And I'm trying to look up this other. There was a show in the 90s, I believe, that was also about nurses. It was a syndicated show, and I'm trying to find it, and I'm not getting it. Oh wait, nope. Here it is from 1995.
Okay.
Yeah, 1995. It was called University Hospital. It was a syndicated medical drama that ran from 1995 into 1995, one season. And I remember watching this thing because one of the stars of the show was Hudson Leak. Does that name ring a bell at all?
Hudson Leak?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like a character from Star Wars Clone Wars.
You're almost close.
Wait, really?
Yeah, she played Callisto on Xena, Warrior Princess, and also Hercules.
No shit.
Yeah. So this was her thing.
Okay.
I think this was before that. Anyway, it was not a good show.
Okay.
Just so we know.
Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, and here's one premiering on Tuesday, December 8th. And we've talked about Fluffy before several times here on the pod.
Gabriel Iglesias?
Have we ever talked about that he has a sitcom on Netflix?
We've touched on it a bit, phrasing.
Yeah.
But we've never gotten to the tip of it, phrasing.
Mr. Iglesias drops season 3 on Tuesday. Now that he plays a high school teacher. Gabe, the high school teacher, who looks and talks and acts amazingly a whole lot like Gabriel Iglesias.
Okay.
And it's got a laugh track, and it seems a bit Saved by the Bellish. But one thing it does have in its favor here, it's not completely white.
That is a positive.
Yeah,
that is truly a positive in these times.
I watched the trailer for season 3. It's like, oh, it's not all just white kids. So good for you, good for you, Gabriel Iglesias.
I think I'm in touch with one of the writers for that show.
Oh, really?
Gonzo Isaacs, and I think if memory serves, a couple of other friends of ours who listen to this podcast religiously, Lalo Alcaraz, and I want to say maybe Gustavo Ariano has contributed and consulted on that show. I'll have to look into it further.
Okay.
Last time I checked, yeah.
All right. Well, we know they're listening, so I'm sure they'll be contacting us any minute now.
Absolutely. And thank God that we're keeping it brown.
Yeah.
That's all. That's the only thing that matters.
On Wednesday, I think Stephen Colbert said it best, musical theater should be outlawed. But we have Dr. Seuss's The Grinch musical, starring as the Grinch, Matthew Morrison from Glee.
Okay,
this is where you ask this is where you ask yourself, where the fuck has Matthew Morrison been since Glee ended?
No, this is the part I go, fuck Glee, and where is Jim Carrey?
No Jim Carrey. You got Matthew Morrison, and this is a stage production of the Grinch musical.
Nope. Will not do this. Cannot do it. At the very least, how hard is it to get Grant Gustin, the Flash, involved in this?
So he should have been the Grinch?
Well, think about this. He was in Glee before he went and did something really important with the DC Universe.
True, yes. All right.
And he's very Grinch-like if you do it right.
Yeah, so you're not down with Mr. Shoe as the Grinch here, huh?
Nope. Sorry. Can't do it.
All right.
Cannot do this at all.
Okay, fuck the Grinch. Phrasing.
Fuck the Grinch.
Here's the real reason for the season right here on Shudder on Friday. The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs presents Joe Bob Saves Christmas. Another double feature holiday special. Probably some to be announced scary Christmas movies.
Okay.
Who knows what they'll be?
And,
we won't know what they'll be until it debuts live on Shudder on Friday.
It's going to be Krampus, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's going to be.
Could be.
Oh, come on.
Maybe.
Krampus.
Maybe not.
Come on.
Yeah.
Krampus.
Also, premiering on Amazon Prime Video, two things worth checking out. One is I'm Your Woman, starring Rachel Brosnahan, the marvelous Mrs. Maisel. This is a 70s crime drama movie where she's forced to go on the run with her baby after her husband runs afoul of the local mob that he's working for.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also premiering on Friday, The Wilds. Are you ready for another plane to go down in the ocean and a bunch of people to be stranded on an island?
Depends. Is one of those people the guy that's playing the Grinch?
No, no Matthew Morrison in this one. This is called.
Then I don't care.
This is The Wilds. It's The Wilds. It's a group of teenage girls whose flight goes down in the ocean, and they wind up on a deserted island. And then it turns out that might have happened on purpose, and mysteries and teen angst ensue.
I kind of feel like this is something that should belong on OnlyFans and or.
There were,
I know you said teenage girls, but still.
yeah. I'd be willing to bet an OnlyFans version of this will happen one way or the other.
Right. Because, porn has pretty much died out at this point.
Yeah.
Except in certain platforms.
Yeah, so on Saturday, I can't believe it's taken this long for a documentary about this musical group, but this is How Do You Mend a Broken Heart, a documentary about the Bee Gees.
Wait, huh?
Yeah, the Bee Gees.
Okay. Hey, how many people were clamoring for this, and which brother is making this happen?
This is one of the biggest musical groups of all time.
Mm-hmm.
They've had over 20 number one hits, and we're going to be talking to people like Nick Jonas and producer Mark Ronson and Chris Martin from Coldplay and Eric Clapton. Ugh. Okay.
What?
Yeah, and
yep. Hold on. Eric Clapton's involved in this.
Yeah. Also, Noel Gallagher's in there. I'd rather talk to Liam just so to see him break shit, but I'm going to be talking to Noel.
Wait. Whoa. Back up here. Back up. Okay. Chris Martin. All right. I can see that. A Jonas brother. No problem.
Yeah.
Eric Clapton. That's a stretch. But a Gallagher brother?
Yeah.
What in the name of Oasis is this shit?
Don't know. Justin Timberlake also going to be in there.
Okay, that makes sense. That actually makes perfect sense. But a Gallagher brother?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't. You might as well just get somebody from Radiohead in here too. What the fuck?
Oh. All right, time to drink this away here. Let me get some genius juice in me.
Yeah, get it in ya. And also on Saturday Night Live coming up this week, Timothy Chalamet is the host. He's a thing.
Okay.
He's a thing. And this up-and-coming new artist, Bruce Springsteen, will also be playing.
Springsteen, you say?
Oh,
wow. Yeah. Just in time for Hanukkah.
I believe so, yes.
L'chaim.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of curious with Timothy Chalamet, because this would have made sense if Dune was going to drop this year, but, we can't have nice things anymore. Thank you, COVID. And the Trump administration. So what exactly is he plugging other than his boyishly good looks and charm?
I think that's all there is to it.
All right. Well, at least it's not a country singer, so I can live with this.
Yeah, well, we just had Jason Bateman. He's not pushing anything.
Yeah, that's true. But that wasn't too bad. That is always a joy right there. But country singers,
Yeah. And going all the way to Sunday, Season 2 of Pennyworth, the Alfred origin story from the DC universe, but it's going to be on Epix.
Okay. Well, we've always known that. Do we know how many episodes there are? I only ask for our certain fans that want to subscribe to Epix for a certain amount of time before they say, fuck off, we're just going to only try it out for a little bit and then not worry about the subscription fee anymore.
Yeah, the first season of Pennyworth was 10 episodes long. I'm guessing the new season will be probably right around there, too.
Okay, so what we're saying is, and when did you say Pennyworth was season 2 is premiering?
Sunday, December 13th.
Okay, so kids, for those of you that are listening to TV Tam Podcast, we highly recommend once all 10 episodes drop, sometime in, if I got my math right, and I'm pretty certain I do even with the Genius Juice, sometime around mid to late February.
Sure.
That's when you should subscribe to Epix for that trial run, and then get the fuck off there.
Yeah.
So, prove me wrong here, folks.
And saw a movie. It's a new movie. It's not an 80s
for Bill's movie corner.
It's
here?
not an 80s classic. It was a brand new movie, Freaky, starring Vince Vaughn.
Oh, okay.
Freaky
And this is something that was.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
So it's sort of a Freaky Friday situation where serial killer Vince Vaughn, thanks to a cursed knife, switches souls with a teenage girl, and wackiness ensues from there.
Now, this was one of the slate of movies that was supposed to be in theaters, but due to the magic of a disease, you get it right at home, streaming live,
Well,
and
it actually is currently playing in theaters as well.
cute. But let's be honest here, you're not going into a theater anytime soon. Not at all. It is interesting. From what I've seen from the trailers and from certain reviews, this actually wasn't that bad, and Vince Vaughn, he really knows how to camp it up there.
No, no, he did a great job in this, channeling a teen girl. And
And
the girl, what is her name? Catherine Newton. She also
mhm.
pulled off being a psycho serial killer pretty well too.
It's almost like it combines Freaky Friday with the Scream series, bit of snippets and one-liners.
Yeah,
So
also want
that's.
to give a special shout out to Alan Ruck for being an asshole shop teacher in this movie.
But really, is that a stretch for him? Is it really?
And here's an odd reference here. Director Christopher Landon, who let's see, let me look here. Did he do? Oh yeah, he was the guy behind Happy Death Day. I can see the similarities. So a fan asked him on Twitter
Oh,
if Freaky Friday and Happy Death Day are set in the same universe. And he said they definitely share the same DNA, and there's a good chance Millie and Tree will bump into each other someday.
oh, okay. I smell franchise.
Oh yeah, and they were already talking about a sequel, of course. And yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's on VOD, as we say in the business, a video on demand. But you know, if you want to go to a theater, go right ahead.
Yeah, go ahead and die in an enclosed box. Have fun with that. Yeah, I'm a bit fatalistic right now, so it's COVID time.
Yeah, I'm also
But
gonna tell you that even though I recommended it last week, I'm not so sure about that now. Heaven's Gate: The Cult of Cults on HBO Max. This was unfortunately a very well behaved, therefore boring cult. So not a lot happens. I mean, the first episode is a good setup, and then there's 4 episodes total. First episode is a good setup. Middle 2 episodes is like a whole lot of meh. And then the final episode is where it all goes down. So I'd say save yourself a couple hours. Just watch the first and the 4th episodes because, unfortunately, they were a very boring cult.
so basically, sandwiched in the middle of the beginning and the end, we get a Oreo cream of meh.
Yeah,
Does that
exactly.
sound
Yeah,
about right?
yeah, and yeah, and we had a tragedy happen in the TV world. Tragedy.
Oh, which tragedy? Who died? Wait, no, I know, Lenny. I know this. I know what you're talking about here. But it's time for the Squick Tones to really rock it out. So, oh, Squiggy, David Lander. Oh, he's dead. Oh, and actually, Michael McKean, Lenny from as part of Lenny and Squiggy from Laverne and Shirley. I didn't realize this. They used to be in school together and did theater group together before they broke it out in the big time on Laverne and Shirley. And there's another thing that's really interesting about it, but I'll let you fill in the rest of the gaps there, sir.
Really, I don't know. I remember them from Laverne and Shirley, Squeaky, and maybe they crossed over. Did they ever cross over into Happy Days?
No, I don't think they ever crossed into Happy Days. However, this is the part that I found very fascinating as I was reading about David Lander's life. I mean, the guy has had a big career. There is one part, and I think this is during the Laverne and Shirley days. So Lenny and Squiggy were having a rock group, the Squig Tones.
Yeah,
And
they actually
one of the
released an album in 1979 on Casablanca Records, home to Kiss and Cher during her disco phase. Basically, they had too much money on their hands. Really,
it was the 70s, folks. It's not that surprising. But what's really surprising is that is where the guitarist for the Squig Tones entered into the picture. A certain gentleman by the name of Nigel Tufnell.
Oh,
Somebody remember? Yes.
yeah,
And tell
Christopher
us,
Guest.
that's right. And why is that an important name, ladies and gentlemen?
Spinal Tap.
There you go. So there, and now you know the rest of the story. But no, David Lander had, even after Laverne and Shirley, had a very active career. He did parts for like Star Trek. He did voiceover work, but a lot of the last, I want to say, 20 years, had limited his work due to multiple sclerosis. So, yeah. But having said that, David Lander, we raise our spiced rum glass of from Outlaw Distillery in your honor. So long, Squiggy. We will see you soon.
Oh.
And are there any other tragedies we need to be aware of other than the fall of Rudy Giuliani? Or
Well,
which, by the way,
we
Saturday
don't.
Night Live captured that. Just
Yeah, we don't have any word on the health or non-health of Rudy at the moment.
not to toot his own horn. Oh, oops!
Nah,
But
well played.
I know, it was a shart in the dark. Let's be honest here.
Oh, speaking of which, this is a nice segue into what do you got on the sports desk?
Oh, I will tell you all about it once you hit the music.
It's sports with Tommy Milagro. Go team!
From the sports desk of the TV10 podcast, we deliver to you only the sport of professional wrestling hiatus edition. Oh, so many things to talk about. So, first of all, let us mention the fact that I, the Lucid Luchador, your Masters of Business Administration man, who writes for SlamWrestling.net. Oh, yeah. Triple shot, folks. Has got time on his hands. I've been recapping for the NWA United Wrestling Network's Primetime Live, which you can still see on Fight TV if you subscribe to their episodes for $7.99.
Not a sponsor.
And my recent episode recap was the last episode. As noted by Dave Marquez, the president of the United Wrestling Network, he stated that episode 12 will be the last episode for 2020. Part of the reason, and we'll try to get his take on it on our various social media feeds, but the gist of it is Marquez says that with pandemics going around, with so much uncertainty, with a new incoming administration, it's hard to juggle all these things around. So they're taking a break, at least for the holidays. They will be back in 2021. When that's going to be, who's to say? But I will highly recommend you watch United Wrestling Network. Subscribe to the shows. The money will go to a worthy cause. All 12 episodes are out there on Fight.tv. Now, having said that, NWA is bringing Shockwave onto YouTube, which we talked about a bit last week. But here's where I found interesting. The episodes on NWA Shockwave, they're basically just recycled editions of the United Wrestling Network's Primetime Live. And now the first episode had one new match with Eli Drake going up against Jordan Cruz, but the rest was basically a rehash of the past episodes of Primetime Live. So if you want to see what you're missing, that's a great place to watch it. Or, you could go to slamwrestling.net and read all the wonderful things I have had to recap about. Just to toot my own horn a bit as I sip the genius juice. That's making me famous. Oh.
Okay.
And let's jump right into some other stuff here. Starting with MLW, two things. First of all, Davey Boy Smith Jr. who, by the way, was on the last episode of Primetime Live, is no longer with Major League Wrestling. He simply put, they decided that they're not going to pursue anything further, and he is now a free agent. So MLW wished him the best in his future endeavors. But what's interesting now is that Cody Hall, the son of Scott Hall, and a former Bullet Club member, according to SlamWrestling.net's news and reviews, has signed with MLW. So that will be a very interesting thing going forward. Keep your eyes glued to the YouTube screen for that. Also, let's see here. We're going to have a couple of big developments here. So as we're talking live on air, WWE is having their War Games on the WWE Network, which you can only subscribe for only $9.99.
Not a sponsor.
And I don't really care about it because they don't really give me much to work with. So, moving along. But the one thing I will say that is very interesting here is this fact, and we're going to end the sports desk on this. Two things. AEW on December 2nd had their show called Winter is Coming, and yes, somewhere out in Los Angeles, Ked Harington is shaking his head at this shit, and also George R. Martin is going, oh fuck, I better start writing these books now if they're going to plagiarize my shit. But two big things happened on AEW this Wednesday. The first being we got to see the introduction of a new player. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's Sting. No, not Sting from the Police. I mean Sting from WCW days returned back to the ring. So, no retirement, but he definitely made his presence known.
Wow.
So what that's going to look like down the road is anybody's guess. However, he did sign a multi-year agreement with AEW. So, yeah, things have gotten super serious. The second thing, and this is where we're going to end this, and so we had the AEW Heavyweight Championship match with the cleaner Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley, and it was Omega winning the AEW Heavyweight strap. So he is now the AEW champ, with a little assistance from the executive vice president of Impact Wrestling, Don Callis, who just happened to be by the broadcast booth and helped out a bit in the ring with the effect of a loaded mic that Kenny Omega used to great effect against Jon Moxley. And the end of AEW saw both Callis and Moxley running from the ring in Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida, to a waiting black SUV, and they said they were going to explain all about it on Tuesday, this Tuesday, on Impact Wrestling on Access TV. So
okay.
So this is confirming that a working relationship between Impact Wrestling and with AEW is now in place. What that's going to look like, we got to tune in and see, because no matter what's happening out in the world, folks, just know pro wrestling's not a pussy about it like pro football and basketball, because it's sports.
It's sports. Tommy Milagro. Go team.
Did you get to catch the wrestling this past weekend, or?
I caught some. I know I watched. I watched. What the fuck did I watch?
You watched the stuff. You watched the things.
Yeah, I watched AEW and both Monday and Friday, WWE.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm of the opinion, especially for me, Tuesday, and I said this before, Tuesdays are for wrestling. Suck it, Mondays and Fridays. And to a lesser extent, Wednesdays.
Sure.
I won't say too much.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Anyway.
We're gonna get the hell out of here now. And anything you would recommend people watch harder over the coming week here?
Okay, it's pretty obvious. You got to watch Mandalorian, folks. Especially this recent episode. It had some major character development, and it showed somebody returning that you know from the Star Wars shows. Do I want to say now, or should I just wait till next week?
Yeah, don't spoil it for the people. Maybe they haven't seen it yet.
I'm just saying, certain people can rock the armor with a dad bod. That's all I can say.
Okay.
And the other thing I'm going to say that you highly should watch would be, especially if you've got Hulu on FX, Fargo. Season 3 ended with a bang.
Actually, season 4.
And there was a nice little callback to, I want to say, season 2.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So it all sort of ties the universe in together. This could be their American Horror Story Crime Edition. So
sure, yeah.
But with politeness, don't you know?
Yeah, I will recommend also the Mandalorian, and yeah. I'm watching too many shows. I can't keep track of all the shows, but one of them is the current 11th and final season of Shameless. So far, first episode dropped today, looking like business as usual over there, and for the Gallaghers, and my favorite show ever. And I'm gonna be sad to see it go. And also, over the weekend, I've been watching a lot of Pluto TV. They just recently added a Showtime channel, and they're revisiting a lot of older Showtime classics. Caught quite a few episodes of Californication on there. And here's the thing about Pluto TV. It is not censored. It is full nudity, full language, full everything. So it's probably going to be only a matter of time before somebody complains and fucks this up. So right now, most of the stuff on Pluto TV in general, as far as movies and everything, is completely uncensored, R-rated, if that's the way it was originally. But yeah, it was nice to see some old Californication episodes from the first season. Holds up pretty well, I think.
One thing I will say about Pluto TV, if we haven't talked about it before, you are going to have to wait through some ads.
Yeah, well, however, it is free.
Yeah.
But there are commercials. But the ad blocks are not really very oppressive.
Yeah. They don't annoy you as bad now that the politics and the race runnings are over with. Thank fucking Christ. But if you're going to complain about something, or if you're paying for it, fine, you can complain. Oh, you're not paying for it? Shut the fuck up and enjoy.
Yeah, also I'd recommend checking out Big Sky over on ABC. Also, I think it's next day on Hulu.
You are really big on this.
Well, I wasn't so big on it in the first place, but now it's starting to shape up like a decent kind of mystery. The first, I was like, I don't know about this, but then they killed off the one guy who was annoying me. So onward and upward.
Oh, okay. So low balance right there in the force.
Yeah. And
my only question is, because this is another in a long list of shows in I would say a backwaters region here where the law is a whole different concept. So on a scale of 1 to Yellowstone to Twin Peaks, where does this land?
Yeah, it's nowhere as intense as either of those, but apparently law enforcement in this portion of Montana is almost non-existent.
So Yellowstone is where you're
closer to Yellowstone than Twin Peaks, for sure.
But a lot of F-bombs, shall we say?
No, because it's network TV.
Fine. Fine, be that way, network TV. Lose more viewers. See if we care.
All right, TV10 Podcast episode 0347 is, we want to thank Outlaw Distillery for the spiced rum and also our other sponsors, who would be...
That would be our good friends at Sugar House Distillery. That would be our good friends at Ogden's Own Distillery, the fine purveyors of Five Lives Vodka, Madame Patarini Gin, the Porter's Fire, and of course the Porter's Peanut Butter Whiskey that somebody enjoyed.
Oh, yeah,
And
really like that.
yeah, and the Porter's Rye Whiskey, the Underground, but of course, you sometimes need to quench your thirst with our good friends at Bohemian Brewery. But if you want to really combine all the flavors together and maybe get a little bit of the glassware to really, really enhance any of our fine sponsors, just go down to Boostique in Central, downtown Salt Lake, and check out all those wares. But please, no matter if it's a distillery, a brewery, or a fine boutique, wear a goddamn mask, you fucking heathens.
Yeah. So with that, we're going to say goodnight, America.
And please, dear sir, will you kindly jiggle that handle, because it is time to flush.